He wasn't a prodigy. He didn't go to Harvard or Stanford. And yet, he became the CEO of Microsoft and transformed one of the biggest companies in the world. Keep watching, because the real story of Satya Nadella is far more than just a rise to power. It's a quiet, deeply human journey of resilience, humility, and a mindset that anyone can learn from. Satya Nadella was born in 1967 in Hyderabad, India. During a time when the country was still finding its footing after independence, his father was a civil servant, a Marxist-leaning intellectual who read voraciously and engaged in political debates. His mother, a Sanskrit lecturer, nurtured a love for learning, culture, and calm thought. But Satya, he wasn't the loudest kid in class. He wasn't topping every exam. Instead, he found joy in cricket, not just for the sport, but for what it taught him: teamwork, strategy, adaptability. He once said, "I think playing cricket taught me more about leadership and working in teams than anything else." That insight would shape how he approached everything in his life. After finishing school, Satya chose to study electrical engineering at Manipal Institute of Technology. He wasn't headed to the Ivy League or building companies in his dorm room. He simply loved learning and followed that curiosity wherever it led. But he knew one thing. He wanted to build things, real things, technology that could change lives. After his undergrad, he packed his bags and moved to the United States, a place he'd only imagined through books and television. It was 1988. He enrolled in a master's program in computer science at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. He was quiet, observant, and persistent. He wasn't trying to be flashy. He just kept showing up, kept learning. From there, he joined Sun Microsystems. It was his first real job in tech, but it didn't last long, because in 1992, a young Satya Nadella joined a rising company called Microsoft. At the time, Microsoft was synonymous with Bill Gates. It was a product-driven culture, competitive, brilliant, sometimes cutthroat. But it was also a place where a person like Satya could grow if they were patient and smart, and he was both. He started as an engineer, worked on Windows NT, and slowly, over years, not months, he earned trust. He led small teams, then bigger ones. He moved into business strategy, always learning, always humble. But there was something else happening in Satya's life that would shape him far more deeply than any business meeting ever could. In 1996, his son Zain was born, but there were complications. Zain had cerebral palsy, and his condition required constant medical attention and care. This moment changed Satya Nadella's life. He later shared, "Becoming a father of a son with special needs fundamentally changed me. It made me more empathetic, and that empathy became central to how I lead." While many in the tech world were focused on speed, dominance, and ego, Satya was being shaped by something quieter: compassion. And that compassion, paired with his technical mind, would become his superpower. If you're enjoying this story and finding value in Satya Nadella's journey, consider subscribing to the channel. We share real stories like this to inform, inspire, and help you grow. Let's keep going. Over the next 2 decades, Satya took on bigger challenges at Microsoft. He helped lead the development of Bing. Then he became the president of Microsoft's Server and Tools division, where he pushed the company toward cloud computing before most people were even talking about it. He was betting on Azure, Microsoft's cloud platform, when Amazon Web Services was already way ahead. Most would have played it safe, but not Satya. He believed in what was coming, not just what was already winning. And it paid off. Under his leadership, Azure grew rapidly. It became one of the pillars of Microsoft's future. By 2014, Steve Ballmer stepped down as CEO. The company was at a crossroads. Its reputation had taken hits. It had missed the mobile revolution. It was seen as slow, behind, too focused on Windows. The board considered big names, outsiders, but ultimately they turned to someone within, someone who had the respect of engineers, the trust of executives, and the calm vision to guide the company forward. That someone was Satya Nadella. When Satya took over as CEO in 2014, Microsoft was still powerful, but uncertain. The culture was rigid. The divisions were siloed. Innovation had slowed. Satya didn't come in swinging or shouting. He came in listening. He focused on rebuilding Microsoft's culture from one of internal competition to one of collaboration. He introduced the idea of a growth mindset, inspired by psychologist Carol Dweck, where learning, effort, and adaptation mattered more than brilliance alone. He also emphasized empathy, not as a buzzword, but as a core value. His first company-wide email included this line: "Our industry does not respect tradition, it only respects innovation." This is a critical time for the industry and for Microsoft. He then made some bold moves. He shifted Microsoft's focus from a Windows-first world to a cloud-first, mobile-first strategy. He allowed Microsoft Office to run on iOS and Android, platforms previously seen as competition. He led the acquisition of LinkedIn for $26 billion, GitHub for $7.5 billion, and later Activision Blizzard for $69 billion. He opened Microsoft to open-source projects, something that would have been unthinkable a decade earlier. Under his leadership, Microsoft's stock price more than tripled within 5 years. It became one of the world's most valuable companies again. But the numbers tell only part of the story. The real change was cultural. Engineers started taking more risks. Teams collaborated across silos, and for the first time in a long time, Microsoft was cool again, attracting young talent, building world-changing tools, and earning back the respect of the tech community. Through it all, Satya remained calm. He wasn't chasing headlines. He wasn't trying to be the next Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. He was just being himself, quiet, curious, compassionate. Satya Nadella didn't grow up rich. He didn't come from a famous school. He wasn't a natural-born genius. He just kept learning, kept adapting, kept showing up. And when the world changed, he helped Microsoft change with it. But perhaps the most powerful part of his story is what never changed: his values. If you found Satya's journey meaningful, we'd be honored if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who'd appreciate it. We're here to tell real stories, stories that teach, that inspire, and that remind us of what really matters. Here are a few powerful lessons from Satya Nadella's journey. Lessons anyone can apply. 1. Empathy is strength. Compassion isn't weakness. It's a superpower in leadership, business, and life. Satya's greatest influence came not from force, but from understanding. 2. Stay curious, keep learning. Satya never stopped learning, from his cricket games to engineering classes to business strategy. That mindset fueled his rise. 3. Don't rush the journey. Satya spent over 20 years at Microsoft before becoming CEO. He didn't cut corners. He grew steadily, and that longevity gave him deep insight and trust. 4. Lead with humility. Satya didn't need to be the loudest voice in the room. He listened, learned, and led by example. Humility made him stronger. 5. Real change starts with culture. Technology evolves fast, but without the right culture, companies stagnate. Satya understood that empowering people, not just products, is the key to long-term success. 6. Use your struggles to build depth. His experience as a father of a child with special needs gave him emotional depth that shaped how he worked and led. Pain, when processed with purpose, becomes wisdom. Satya Nadella's story reminds us that greatness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it listens, it learns, and it leads quietly, but powerfully. Thanks for watching. See you in the next story.